Hi friends, I'm Stephanie Hansen. Let's go! I've been cooking, eating, and talking about it for years.
This is amazingly good.
Now I'm inviting you along for the ride. You seem like you're pretty adventurous about food. Meet the chefs, home cooks, restaurateurs, and bakers honing their craft. Oh, look at that technique. And try new recipes with me in my kitchen. It's simple, it's easy, that looks amazing. There's always something delicious to share. This is Taste Buds. We're in January and we're dry because we overindulge.
When the sun comes up on a brand new day, you can feel your luck is going to change.
Hey Taste Buds, if you're like me, you have overindulged this holiday season. All the cookies, all the eating, and we are into dry January, and I'm so excited to tell you about Marigold. It's a new spot that maybe you aren't aware of that is full of everything that is non-alcoholic, healthy, fun, good for you, and we're gonna teach you all the ways to entertain yourself without having any alcohol for dry January. So come with me. I'm here with my friend Erin Flavin.
Hi, Stephanie.
Oh, okay. The first time I met you was by Zoom. So this is like the first time we're actually spending face-to-face time. You're so adorable. And I knew right away when we were talking about January, I'm like, I want to talk to Erin Flavin. She has a store called Marigold, and it is full of non-alcoholic mocktail-y type ingredients, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because we've seen a huge renaissance of all of these products that are non-alcoholic. So it might be spirits based, but they distill the alcohol out. It might be bitters, it might be juice based. There's so many different kinds of products.
Yeah, there's a lot of options for people who are, don't want a ton of sugar. They want something that has like the uplifting from adaptogens. They want something that is not alcohol based at all or isn't reminiscent of that.
Yeah.
They want something that just feels adult and celebratory.
One of the things I did last season was I did different mocktail recipes, and they were so popular because people just, I don't know why, but they can make cocktails, but when it comes to mocktails, they're like cranberry juice and 7-Up. Like they just don't have the range. So
right.
I can't wait to introduce people to new products that they can find. You've got a Minneapolis location where we're at today. And she started out as a hairstylist, which is there's like a full-on hair salon behind us. But then you also opened in St. Paul too, so you cover both Twin Cities.
Yes.
Okay, so let's go make some drinks so you can show me about all the cool new
I love it. I'm gonna have Josie make some drinks for us.
Okay, Josie's gonna make the drinks. Erin's just gonna sit and chat with me.
I love
Come on,
it.
Let's go. I'm bellied up to the mocktail bar in Marigold with Erin and Josie. Josie, are you gonna make us some mocktails?
I sure am.
Now, what's your skill set? Were you a bartender or how did you come to this?
I was a barista
Oh,
for years,
perfect.
and then I ended up here, and it has just kind of slowly made its way.
So what are you gonna make for us today?
First, we're gonna start out with like a gin apple elixir.
Of course we are. 'Cause
Really lovely.
fake gin, I'm all about that.
So good. We'll start by dipping the rim in this raw honey. Raw honey is gonna be a little thicker and it'll hold on to your rim. And then we're using cinnamon sugar. Just gives it like this nice, pretty rim.
It is just like being at a cocktail bar where, you're sitting down and they're doing the special ice and the special rimming of the drinks.
Well, because I think a big thing that we've learned is that people deserve that experience whether they're drinking or not. And
Because
people
it's all
enjoy
about
that
social,
experience.
right?
It really
It's the ritual of it
Yeah.
more than anything. So we'll start with just an ounce of the Dose gin.
Okay.
Dose is a really, really lovely product made out of Oregon.
I'm gonna just smell this for a
Yes,
minute.
it's so lovely.
Oh yeah, like you still get that juniper.
Yep, the herbal notes are very forward.
Kind of smells like the forest in
Yeah.
Minnesota Ely winter.
Then you'll pour the milk and honey cider from St. Joe, Minnesota. Really lovely, completely de-alcoholized cider. And that will get us pretty good. We'll mix it a little
love how
to
the
start.
honey is
It's
kind of like
dripping,
dripping down the
I
outside of the glass.
know.
That's special.
Makes it fun. And then last but not least, we'll take the spicy ginger syrup and we'll do just half an ounce. And that you can see it changes the color. It'll also give it some more of that body because
Yeah.
it is a syrup.
Now, Erin, when people come into the store, are you always making drinks or do you have special events?
We just launched our beverage program. So if you want to come in and shop the store and have a sip of something, We'll always have something on tap and have a rotating cocktail.
And this is gonna be one of them. So then you'll finish it with a little dried apple slice.
I
Make
like
look
it.
Extra cute.
Yeah,
Voila.
it does look extra.
We're done.
Cheers.
All right, cheers. Wow. It really, tastes like a cocktail, but also has like the mouthfeel of it. And the gin is really nice, but also like it's kind of funny. You take that milk and honey cider that's non-alcoholic,
Yeah.
then you make it alcoholic, then you distill out the alcohol, and you have this beautiful multi-dimensional apple cider that's fizzy, that's delicious.
Yes.
Josie, we're on to cocktail number 2.
Now we're gonna make a really nice non-alcoholic old fashioned, or our twist on it.
A twist on an old fashioned that's non-alcoholic. I imagine this would be hard.
It can be hard, but we have a really great de-alcoholized bourbon.
Okay.
Some really fun bitters.
Just to give you an idea, like in here is apple cider vinegar, orange peel, different kind of spices, milk thistle seed, burdock, a lot of great organic what are those? They're biology, like biological pheromones. I'm like getting all scientific.
Melissa, give it to us.
Mine like
Botanicals, that's the word I was looking for.
All right, and then we'll start with this really lovely Kentucky 74. The Kentucky 74 is special because it's actually a de-alcoholized bourbon.
Okay.
So it was the real deal. They've removed the alcohol. It ends up tasting almost as true to taste as you can get because it is the real deal.
I cannot wait.
We'll start with just 1.5 ounces of
Spiritless.
bourbon.
That's a great name.
It's lovely. Spiritless
They're a great
Kentucky
company.
74. They're fabulous. They are great for those of us who do still drink, but are looking to sprinkle in NA options. We're gonna take the beautiful orange bitters that we were talking about, and we will take 2 full droppers.
Ooh, that's a lot for bitters.
It is a lot. So the difference in these, because they don't have an alcohol carrier, is they're gonna be a lot more mellow.
Okay.
You have to use more. Then we can take our
love it.
filthy cocktail cherry.
From a distance, though.
I like to do just a little
yes,
bit
friend.
of the cherry juice in there as well. It gives it just another layer of texture that we like. And then we'll move on to our actual syrup. This is a brown sugar simple syrup. The brown sugar adds a layer that makes it feel really nice for this time of year when it's so cold outside. Little post-holiday jazz. So we'll take only 1/4 ounce of this one.
Okay,
So you
because
kind
we
of
want
just
it
have
a
to-
little sweet, but not too sweet.
Exactly.
For our post-holiday jazz.
Exactly.
Then to top it off, we're gonna take this beautiful bitters. This bitters, one thing to note is that it does have an alcohol carrier.
Okay.
But you'd have to use the whole thing to feel a thing, and it would be too
And for
spicy
some
to bear.
people, like they won't even take NyQuil.
Exactly.
or-
Right.
Okay,
There
so
are
good to
different
know.
Don't want anything that tastes-
preferences.
yeah.
Really, you know, what this is gonna do is in our non-alcoholic bourbon, even though it's de-alcoholized and closest to the flavor as we can get, it's gonna taste inherently just a little bit sweeter because
Okay.
it doesn't have that burn to counter it
Yeah.
from the alcohol. These are pepper-based bitters. So it's gonna imitate the burn without giving you the alcohol content.
Okay, and Disco Inferno, it sounds like we're in a John Travolta movie. And I'm all for it. It kind of looks like a man's cologne too, like it's real musky.
Yes, it is. These bitters are really different than the others. The last one we did 2 full droppers. This one we're gonna do literally 1 drop.
Because we don't want too much
don't want it
burn. Yeah,
spicy.
we don't want to burn out
It
somebody.
is pepper-based and it can get really hot. I'm a wimp. This
Okay.
will do it really quickly, but it'll balance out the flavor in a way that is really lovely.
I can smell the cherry, I can smell the orange of the bitters, but I'm gonna be real curious to see how close this comes to an old fashioned.
I mean, for somebody who hasn't drank in 3 years, it smells like an old fashioned to me.
Oh, wow. I can totally taste the burn of that Disco Inferno pepper.
Isn't it fun?
Yes, because it's really giving it that kind of smoky, whiskey
Absolutely.
vibe that I didn't think I was gonna get when I was smelling it, because it smells a little cherry-ish.
Right, it smells a lot brighter. Oftentimes the like darker spirits smell and look a little bit brighter, and then when you taste it, especially if you get that Disco Inferno in there, so well balanced.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because I'll just be completely honest. When I was smelling it, I was like, I don't know. And then I tasted it, and it really does taste like a tiny bit sweet old-fashioned. It's really quite delicious,
Good.
Chelsea.
I'm glad
Wow.
you enjoy it. Now we have an espresso cola martini.
Cola.
Oh,
espresso.
yeah.
You had me at martini.
Exactly. Everyone deserves an espresso martini. Perfect
They're
for
really
any time
back.
of year, but right now especially it feels appropriate. We've got ice in the base of our shaker, and we will go in with this Owens espresso martini mix. So this is lovely, whether you drink or not. If you drink, you just add your spirit. We'll do 4 ounces, about half the can. And the nice thing about this espresso martini mix, it's dairy-free and it's nitro infused, so that when you shake it, it'll really get that nice foam. And then we've got our cola syrup. The cola syrup is really nice. You can add it to a sparkling water or to a club soda and it'll flavor it like tonic. We're adding it to this to give it a little twist, and you'll just do 1 capful. And then for this one, we're going to revisit our
Going
Disco
back to the
Inferno.
disco pepper.
And oddly enough, we're gonna do 3 drops of it.
Burn, baby, burn.
Okay, I feel like that is gonna be a lot.
And
So I'm
that's
curious to
what
see
I
how
thought
this is
too.
gonna work.
But the sweetness, I think you're gonna like how it mixes together.
Oh, so it does have that crema feeling? Like that you would get
Absolutely.
from an espresso martini?
Absolutely, and that's what that nitro component. Oops, I got an ice cube in there.
That's all right, I'll just keep it chilly for us. Ooh, look how foamy and frothy.
Yes,
pretty.
That nitro component will do it. Then to make this one look extra pretty, we take this really lovely cosmic cocoa. It's an adaptogenic cocoa.
Adaptogenic cocoa.
Oh,
I'm gonna leave
yeah.
here with some adaptogens, I'm sure of it.
And then you'll just take the teeniest bit and you can just sprinkle
Okay,
it
that's
up
pretty,
top.
yes.
Make it look a little bit cute.
Okay, Erin, we have our espresso martinis. Let's try it.
Wow. And
Yes, yes.
Lovely.
I can't believe that the pepper tastes so different here than it did in the old fashioned.
And it's not overwhelming. It balances the sweetness.
Yum. This is next level.
this is where it's at.
Okay, and one of the things too that gets, I don't know why, but more complicated is food with mocktails, right? Because people overthink it. So we've got Amy here from Chowgirls, and she's gonna make us
Amy.
some pairings. Yes, we do too, Minneapolis company. All right, so I'm here with Amy Brown from Chowgirls Catering, and we are talking about elevated, beautiful experiences. You've written a lovely cookbook that I've interviewed you about. You have lots of good appetizers in here. But when you're dealing with mocktails, is it different to pair them, or do you kind of go with the same philosophies?
I think it's really fun to go with the same philosophies, and it brings, you know, the joy of cocktail parties.
The joy of cocktail parties, yes.
There's no reason that you can't just make it a whole thing with pairings.
All right, Amy, what is gonna go with this gin and apple elixir?
Well, because of those like really great fall, wintry, spicy flavors, I picked one of our classic winter appetizers, which is a butternut squash and Italian sausage skewer.
So we're making squashages. Easy for you to say.
Yes, squashages.
And we have not been drinking, so we can say squashages.
Exactly.
Why do you use the frizzled sage? Does it just give that extra hint of flavor?
It's got great flavor. It actually, if you do as a garnish, it looks beautiful as well.
Yeah.
And we do this wonderful maple butter with local maple syrup.
All right, so we are drizzling.
One
Yum.
of our best-selling appetizers through the years.
This tastes like the Italian countryside, doesn't it?
Yeah, I love it. We do a little bit of a char mark. You know, we grill the sausage.
You get that just whole autumnal fall feeling.
Oh
with
my
the
God,
sage,
it's
the
so good.
squash, sausage, the honey.
It's so good.
That milk and honey cider really comes through.
I'm gonna have one more of these.
Butter and maple syrup always makes everything delicious.
Right.
Okay, I always have Swedish meatballs at the holidays, but it didn't occur to me to serve it as like an appetizer, so I love that.
Great. Yeah, we have a small version of Swedish meatballs here.
Yes, they're
For
not
if
too
you're having-
small though. They're like perfectly bite-sized with the little lingonberries.
It's just great. So
Okay.
this is a really great recipe from one of our employees' grandmothers.
Oh boy.
Mari's grandma's recipe. For
Okay,
Swedish meatballs.
Mari, we're gonna pair it with not Mari's grandma's old fashioned. This is the mocktail that we made earlier. Mari's grandma's meatballs are delicious.
Yeah, and you gotta love whiskey and red meat.
Yes. You get kind of a different smokiness with the meatball than you would just when we were drinking the old fashioned before. Is that a recipe that's in your book by chance?
It certainly is.
Okay, because everybody loves a good Swedish meatball recipe. Now, to be fair, it's kind of hard to pair an espresso martini because it's really like the dessert.
It's our after dinner drink.
So why don't we talk about what we have for our final pairing, and then we're going to introduce you to one more really cool product that's made in Minnesota that I'm very excited about.
Well, speaking of made in Minnesota, this is our Big Woods Blue Canapé. It's been on the menu for as long as I can remember. We've got a house-made little cracker. Our amazing pastry chef puts these together. The recipe for this is in the cookbook as well.
Oh, I love it. Our first Taste Bud episode we did from a farmer's market, and we picked up the Big Woods Blue from Shepherd's Way.
Yeah.
Okay, what are those? They look like little raisins.
It is close. It's a roasted grape.
Oh, cute.
Just a little olive oil on a grape and just a couple minutes in the oven, and it gets kind of caramelized. It's just a really great flavor. And then we finish this with just the teeniest amount of lavender flower.
Okay, a little lavender seed,
But I
Erin.
mean, definitely not very much, because too much lavender is
Oh, okay, honey.
a little bit soapy. And then each of these gets the tiniest little drizzle.
And we're gonna serve it with this dry wit. And I've heard so much about this. This is another local Minnesota product. And my nickname was Pippi growing up.
Oh
so
my
it's called the
gosh.
Pippi, so it feels a little near and dear to my heart.
Well, this one is my favorite. I think it'll pair really beautifully with these.
So Erin, is it like the equivalent of like a sparkling wine?
It acts like a sparkling wine. It's meant to be enjoyed with food. That's what Dry Wit is all about. They're about the pairings. They're about something to enjoy with friends, with food.
I love that it's a little effervescent. You know what else I love? We are right next to the hair salon that Erin also owns. And it's just so fun. Like, I feel like we're in this super festive environment because as the day's gone on, more and more people are coming in to get their hair styled. And here we are over here drinking all of our mocktails and eating Amy's great appetizers. All right, you start with the first pairing. Little honey, little lavender, a little homemade biscuit. Oh, she went in for the whole mouthful. Is that how you're supposed to do it? I bet it is. Wow, this dry wit is like, it's sort of like a Sauvignon Blanc kind of. It's like a little perry. It's got apple notes to it. It's a little effervescent, but not too much. Have you had this before, Amy?
I have, and we have it on our bar menu.
Okay,
at
so
Chowgirls.
great. Yeah, so at Chowgirls, you would offer mocktails too if people were doing a catered event?
Yes, it's been really popular. We come up with seasonal, about 4 different mocktails per season.
Yeah, I love it.
And they have just been selling like crazy.
We have one more thing, and it is a thing that people talk about a lot, which is charcuterie plates, right?
Yes.
Chowgirls has a charcuterie box. You can order this just online and it has all this stuff in it?
Yeah, it's Chowgirls' first foray into online ordering. You know, you can just have a casual party. These come in different varieties. We've got one that's all local cheese. This is a local cheese and charcuterie box. A couple of our just like best sellers mixed in with some of the best, provisions you can find in the Twin Cities.
Amy, thanks for being here today and helping
My
Erin and
pleasure.
I. It is January and there's gonna be a lot of like Netflix time, so order your charcuterie box from Chowgirls. You can order it right online. Come into the store at Marigold, have a few cocktails. It's gonna be a delightful winter. I feel real good about my dry January.
Yay.
Erin, you and I had an opportunity to chat about sobriety and about mocktails and the whole dry culture. And I just wanted to come back to that because your experience was so personal and you went from being a hairstylist to opening Marigold.
The journey was, during COVID, really seeing what my habits were or my hobbies, I would say. And one of my main hobbies, and probably my only hobby, was drinking.
Yeah.
And eating and working. And so when I was kind of faced with that and who I was drinking with, I was left with my family, my kids, so that's, also really eye-opening. It just started feeling really icky.
We've
The
really
way that-
normalized
Yeah,
it to
the
be
way that-
like, part of everyday culture.
And that's not the medicine I'm looking for in my life. Like, I really want to be present. We only have so much time. And I spent a lot of time with alcohol.
Yeah.
And I'm really happy to just be actually living my life in a way that I never really had the opportunity or allowed myself the opportunity to do. I'm doing things like I'm playing tennis and, I thought I had time to play piano, but that's not real. But, and it's really fun to be able to show my kids this other side of me. I don't know if my daughter quite remembers me being a drinker, but I'm certain my son does. I forgot to get non-alcoholic beverages for his first birthday. Like, I had all my friends in the backyard in August, and I had all the alcoholic beverages and snacks and everything, and there was nothing non-alcoholic.
Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I've had that same experience.
And, a lot of friends were really, kind of questioning their relationship with alcohol, and I tried to decide to make not drinking cool. Like, it's okay to not drink. I mean, this is something that I didn't realize how badly people needed it until the store was filled with people telling me their stories, and I'm there for it. Like, that's what I did for over 20 years, is listen to people's,
as a
struggles
hairdresser, you're probably an expert. I think too, what I want to stress is we are in a great culture in that we have all these alternatives now. So whatever your reason is for maybe drinking less or not drinking, period, if you're in sober January and you're just doing it to see what it feels like, or maybe you're trying to lose weight, whatever your thing is, this is a store that's here for you, because they're going to help you find something that you can get through this time and still be social, still have a fun life.
It's wherever you're at on that spectrum of sobriety, whether you're sober or not, or you're just shopping for friends or whatever it is, to have a place where you can go and feel welcome wherever you're at in that space. We hope to always be that for people.
Well, thank you for normalizing it. Thank you for hosting events. Thank you for having a cocktail bar here that's a mocktail bar where people can come and try different products. You're gonna just create this whole culture in the Twin Cities area that hopefully will expand beyond to just share all these cool products that people are making, all the maker stories. I've just had a great day. Thank you so much.
Stephanie, thank you.
It's been super fun. Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers to Dry January.
To Dry January.
And just to healthy choices in your life.
Yes.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. You too.
Ready? There's no music. Doesn't matter. We got the music in our spirits, Aaron. We're not duds. We're dry, but we're not duds. We're not duds. We're dry, but we're not duds. Oh, 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 ah, ah, oh.